All right, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening. Sorry for the wait there. Hey guys, sorry for the delay. I'm glad that you all are here. Hold on really quick. Just making sure everybody knows. Daily Roundup starting now. Sorry, running late. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about this. We have equities are at lows right now, and I'm gonna reiterate what I said a little earlier. With the market hitting lows, I'm wondering if we're at risk at some of these currencies turning. And you know, you take like the Aussie dollar, like look at the Aussie. We're already posting what could be construed as, and let me go ahead and grab this as a trend line, as a possible false breakout here, right? That's a 4-hour chart. So Europe got squeezed. Now North America is taking it the other direction, right? Look at the Kiwi, same situation, right? Now I'm a little bit more skeptical when you talk about like the euro and the cable, okay? If you talk about the cable, I mean, this is a squeeze. We hit the 127% extension. I thought that was doable today, right? If you look at our bias chart resistance, 140, it's bullish while we're above 139. Boom, we're above 139. We hit 140, or, you know, 139.92, I guess. But basically we're there. Am I bearish the cable? And do I think it's at risk of a move down here? Possibly. But what I would be more in tune with is something that Amanda in the chat room has been looking at. She's long the pound Aussie. Why not? Because if we have risk off, then you're going to see the pound outpace the Aussie higher, right? So this move that you're seeing here is real, quite possibly. So imagine the dollar has a false breakdown against the Aussie and the Kiwi, but also and the Canadian and whatever else. But you see it, not reverse against like the euro and the Aussie. That means that these euro Aussies, euro Aussie, euro New Zealand, these moves that you're seeing here are real. And same with the pound Aussie, pound New Zealand, right? That makes sense in a risk-off environment. Now, when I say that makes sense in a risk-off environment, that means stocks are turning lower. They're approaching really key support. Look at the S&P, where we're at right now. We're at channel support. I'm short a little bit of S&Ps here. I want to be a little bit more aggressive, but I'd like to see us, drop below this 4150. As you guys know, the 4155 is support, which is basically, I was trying to reference trendline support. We've been as low as 4155 and we bounced a couple points, but really, we get it below 4150, things will get a little bit more bearish, right? Then you take currencies like this. If the S&P starts to give it up, then you have the US dollar, Norwegian krona that just got everybody out, myself included. We get back above 835, I have to get back in because then I know it's a false breakdown. Believe me, it's on my radar right now. It is on my radar. US dollar, Mexican peso. We're challenging the bottom of the wedge. It hasn't turned higher, but man, I'll tell you what, we get above 20 and it's going to be bullish. So Irina said, hey, Blake, what about the euro? Well, again, this is the problem. With the euro and the pound, I think we might see some continued cross rate buying with the euro Aussie, pound Aussie, that type of thing, right? So euro New Zealand, euro Canadian. So I think while you're above this 119.90, it's really hard for me to be bearish the euro at this level. I still think we can trade up towards here. The 121 level. I think that's doable. Let me get rid of this right now. I think it's doable. I'm not going to be long the euro in anticipation of that happening, but I do think it's doable that we get up there, right? And again, I think it could be some cross rate buying. And if you're in the chat room, you heard me say this, but I'll say it. I'll say it here for you guys. You got to watch the NASDAQ, because the NASDAQ is leading this charge lower, and on the weekly chart, we closed in breakout territory. So if the NASDAQ starts taking out the lows from last week, which is roughly about here, we start taking out these levels in the NASDAQ, let's just call it 13,700 roughly. Things are going to get really bearish, the NASDAQ, quickly. You got a false breakout. You've got tech leading the way lower. It can turn risk appetite lower pretty quick. Also, one of the reasons why I'm really feeling, this way against the market right now and feeling, bearish, is because Bitcoin is lower and it is below 60,000. And so while we're below 60,000, you have to be defensive with risk assets. All right. Including, and we should probably just take a real quick look at IWM. Possible head and shoulder pattern. Look, the Russell 2000 has not rallied with stocks. It hasn't. You have the US dollar Canadian. We're near the highs of the session right now. Especially if we're trying to carve out an inverted head and shoulder pattern. The dollar looks, like it could move here. Let's take a look at the yen pairs. So you got the dollar yen trading heavy. It's having a hard time getting a lift, but look at the, most of you guys know I'm short Canadian yen, right? Aussie yen or New Zealand yen, Aussie yen. We're approaching last week's lows right now. Euro yen, if we get below, and Irina, this is one of those other things that you got to think about. If the euro dollar breaks below, if the euro yen breaks below 129.50, I don't think I'd want to be long euros at that point. Okay, no matter what the euro is doing, because I think that the euro yen, there's a lot of cross rate effect with the euro yen, meaning that if the euro yen starts going down, it's going to influence other euro pairs, and S&Ps are at lows, by the way. Dow's touching its lows of the session. Just keep that in mind. And I think risk appetite is very dicey at this moment. And look at volatility. Remember, volatility, daily sentiment index was extreme. Okay. It was extreme. All right. And Steven says hi. Irina said hello. I don't know if you guys have any other questions. If you don't, that's cool. I get it. Let me just take a real quick look really fast, guys. No. Let's take a look at, oh, you know what? I want to take a look at gold really fast. Gold's come off, and I'm a little concerned about gold here because it's not even acting well as the yen is strengthening. Well, I mean, you wouldn't expect it to. If the yen is strengthening, the dollar yen, meaning the dollar yen's moving lower, you would think that gold might lift here and might bounce, but it's really not. It's actually gold's kind of trading heavy. I have stops at break even now, but if we get below 1760, this is going to end up being a false breakout. Gold going down with other risk assets, it wouldn't be uncommon. It definitely could happen. Jason asks, Blake, what are your thoughts on the Aussie yen? You know, the ASEAN, like I said, I think it's at last week's lows. I mean, you know, the ASEAN's at risk. I mean, I guess it's not all the way. Last week's lows are probably some over here. But look, we're you know, near these lows right here. I wouldn't be too bearish, but man, we are just we're holding this 618. I think it's while we're below here. While we're below, let's just call it 84.50. You know, I think the risk reward is, you know, to be better risk reward is to be short with stops above here, especially how stocks are acting, right? Martin said, hey, Blake, Canadian ends also on a break lower, in my opinion, points to 85.40 at least. Yeah, and look, I have triangle, head and shoulder pattern. It points to 84.50 for me too. That's what my extension will show. It's not going to go straight there. I would imagine that we do something like this, right? You know, that I can't imagine we're going to go there too quickly, but hell, you never know. We're obviously at very elevated levels, Martin, in equities. So, you know, the risk is that we could, you know, fall down that elevator really quick. Cedric says, hey, Blake, please remind me when you are going to carry out Fibonacci webinar, any possible date. The basic Fibonacci webinar, I'll probably get done here in the next 2 or 3 weeks. It hasn't been filmed, it hasn't been canned, but I'm starting filming some things this weekend. So, and then once it goes into editing and all that. So we're realistically talking about 2 or 3 weeks out. Okay. But that's going to be like one of my first webinars to do. Right. Ifrin said, Blake, are you long gold? Sorry, I didn't catch what you said. Yeah, I am from last week, but I'm not, you know, stop's already at break even. It's at 1760. It's on the double bottom. You know what I mean? I played it here, but I'm not too comfortable with it. You know, I've got this, you know, bull flag, and when we broke out here, I got long, and you know, I'm just playing this pattern, but it doesn't feel good, right? It doesn't. Anyway, all right, guys and gals, I want to thank you all for your support. You guys are awesome. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll catch you a little later, all right? And have a great day. Bye-bye.